Hey everybody, welcome back. So it's the fourth week of the month, which as you all know is my Jam in Progress series. So I'm gonna be playing the blues, or at least trying to.
I used to have a job, but I got laid off. I used to have a wife, but she said she had enough. I used to have a car, but it got repossessed. It seemed the Lord had found someone he likes to test. I've lost all a man could lose, that's why I sing the blues.
So before I get into it, let me get my little rant out of the way. Not gonna lie, this one is a bit tougher than all the others as far as actually putting anything together, let alone making progress. All the other ones, even though they're hmm, pretty different as far as the songs they are, there's still a structure I have to follow. For this one, the whole idea is um, figure out all the parts that I can use to build a structure and then build it on my own. So it's got to be a whole lot of my own personal taste on everything, but I'm still trying to figure that one out. But eh, that's the challenge, and who doesn't love a challenge? Anyway, next I'm gonna show you pretty much where I am as far as building up that rhythm section, so I can have an accompanying part that I made when I start going for the lead section and start soloing and such. So here we go. So most recently, I've kept up with the E7, A7, B7, but I've also kind of fell back to EAB, and I can admit it doesn't sound too bad. Here's what I've got. I kind of like it. I figure I still got to try a few other different keys just to see what really hits with what I want to make on my own. I mean, I know I'm not making anything new probably, but I want to get used to hearing it and coming up with a thing on my own as opposed to just looking it up and following that like I do already do with the other three series. But that one sounds pretty good. And one thing I am kind of working on is how I finish that off. 'Cause, like originally, you just saw I just went. I'm figuring out what to do on that last little flourish. So here's one thing that I came up with. Not bad. I figured that strumming that strumming the very last one at the end, that note doesn't quite sound right. So I'm gonna look for a different one that might be able to go with that. But hey, that idea, that one kind of came to me out of nowhere. So I'm starting to have that whole you know figuring out what I want to play versus being told what to play by the tab thing, which is pretty cool. But more than that, I figured another reason this one's taking longer is because I also have to examine particular techniques as far as how I play the chords. Um, for example, the shuffle that I started out with. I also on one of the Skillshare videos heard about another one which I'm also working on as well. Yeah, that one I like as well. I've still got to work on naming stuff, or not naming stuff, remembering the name of the thing because I'm just used to playing instead of actually calling anything what it is, even when I take notes. But yeah, I like the sound of that one, although I have to work on my technique so that you can actually hear the notes ringing out on the D string instead of just the A. And yeah, maybe I can mess with my settings a bit on that one too. But yeah, I'm coming up with a few different ideas, really getting into it. I want to, understand what goes into, playing the rhythm section on this one to make sure I get those progressions. Also got to make sure I clean up my chords, see my progress on Slip Out for that one. I mean, that's all over the place there. But yeah, the main thing with this one is I'm also, along with coming up with my own thing, I have to make sure I learn the techniques properly so I can do my own thing right. But yeah, so I think this one, until I really catch my stride, it might be kind of slow, but it's coming. I'm sticking with this because I really want to be able to make my own thing, and especially get to the point where I can start running through scales and soloing like crazy, because that's going to be the fun part for me. I've done that before in a couple of other groups that I've done before, and when they put me on the spot and said, "Hey, go and do this," and I just gave them a best shot, it actually sounded pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, I want to ever get to that part, but I gotta make sure my foundation is solid. So that's about where I am right now. With any luck, I'll be able to give you something big next time around. But for now, this is it. This is DJ, aka 5 Guitars Guy. See ya.